I know it's tempting to try and save money, especially when you're worried about your future in these uncertain times. It goes without saying, however, this is often a fool's errand. Often, you get so consumed by the price of an item, you don't see the additional benefits the more expensive item will give you and your team in terms of overall lower total cost of ownership, productivity enhancements, and greater reliability. Just recently, I was chatting with a practice manager at a Perth law firm who had suffered a system crash that took them down for 2 hours. I asked how much that 2-hour outage had cost the firm. Now, while I can't say for sure, as they are not a client, I would be shocked if the reason the outage had occurred isn't because of one of the following 3 points. Their existing IT services or tech support company recommended cheap equipment that was not designed for the task at hand. Their existing IT services company thought that they wouldn't go for the more expensive, more reliable technology, so they never recommended it in the first place. They did recommend the more expensive solution, however also offered a cheaper alternative, and the law firm leaders decided to go with the cheaper option as they didn't want to spend the money. So going back to the example of the above law firm with the 2-hour system crash, based on previous experience, I'd estimate one occurrence cost them around a few $1,000s of lost billable time. Then there's the staff twiddling their thumbs while the issue gets fixed, whose wages you're paying. Imagine if that starts happening a couple of times a week. Over the course of a fortnight, that's $12,000 of lost billable revenue. If it continues throughout the month, that becomes $24,000. Throughout the quarter, $72,000. Naturally, you can do the maths for the figure for the year. Potentially, it could cause you to lose a very important client who has an urgent matter that you can't work on while the system is down. It goes without saying, you may have been just about to win a very important prospective client, however they went elsewhere because you couldn't help them urgently. The thing you need to understand is, when these things happen, it's not just the direct cost of the downtime. It's also the future repeat business you've lost, plus any referrals those clients may have brought to the firm, and the referrals those originally referred brought in. Would it be inconsiderate to ask, can you afford to light that much money on fire or let it exit out of your firm? Another area I've seen professional services firm equity principals, partners and directors make similar mistakes with cheap decisions is in the recommendations I make to clients and potential clients. Obviously, straight off the bat, we are not the cheapest Perth IT services or tech support company, nor do we strive to be. Some might argue that we're one of the more expensive in town. Obviously, and it goes without saying, if you look at the overall value we provide, I think you'll find we are very fairly priced. I've seen them look at the dollar value of our system recommendations, implementation and ongoing support services and then chosen to work with someone else. I've then checked back in 3 months' time and the IT services company they chose has still not finished implementing the recommendations of what is a very simple project, and the client has suffered untold amounts of downtime, stress, headaches and lost productivity. In one case, a client, an accounting firm, chose to do this, and 6 months later he was still facing issues and the system was not fully migrated. We went back to do some ad hoc IT support work for him and found so many mistakes in the setup and configuration, it was unbelievable. It goes without saying, the equipment supplied was not even at the same quality standards that we had recommended. In another case, an ex-client just reached out to me recently after leaving us about 6 months ago, asking for a password we had supplied to them and his new IT services company at the time that they offboarded from our services. Now, at the time they were offboarding, I remember thinking this client is making a bad decision. That was confirmed when the new IT company took over 2 months to complete a simple transition of services for what is a relatively small system. As the old saying goes, the client and ex-client had compared apples with oranges, or in this example, quality, reliable equipment, services and project implementation versus a kind of okay equipment but not up to the task required and a substandard implementation of services and the project scope. I know firsthand about getting this wrong and how much this costs. Obviously, I'm not perfect with my decision-making abilities either, it doesn't exist. In 2018, about 4 years ago now, I was faced with an important decision about some technology for my business. At the time, I was struggling and didn't have a lot of revenue coming through the door. I looked at this great bit of technology that I knew would really help me grow and scale the business, but I couldn't get past the upfront and ongoing cost of the system. So, what did I do? I decided to try and make a cheaper alternative work that I had found. As it turned out, that was a big mistake. Hundreds and hundreds of hours trying to build out what was already pre-built in the solution I'd looked at previously, and even after all the additional time I invested into the technology, it still wouldn't work effectively. After all that time wasted, and about 3 months later, I then made the wise choice to invest in the business and purchase the more costly solution that I'd looked at earlier. The biggest lesson here is that I ended up paying twice as much as I should have by making this decision than if I had invested in the more costly solution initially. At the price that I put on my time, it makes me shudder at how much this cheaper solution actually costed me. So, what should you do instead? When weighing up the cost of something, you need to consider the following. What will it cost me and my team in time to either try and work out the solution ourselves or to try and configure the solution myself or ourselves? What will it cost me and my team and the firm in lost productivity if the system or solution is unable to deliver as promised? What will it cost me in lost productivity, downtime, wages, lost revenue if this solution doesn't deliver, and what negative effect to the bottom line will this have? After you've weighed these up, then consider the upside and an investment that you could receive. What benefits do I and my team get from concentrating on our strengths and not trying to figure out things we are not strong in? If we have a stable and secure system, what is the potential positive effect to revenue and the bottom line? What could I use the positive effects to further reinvest into the firm to grow more in other areas? This took me a long time to figure out. You want to change your mindset when it comes to the cost and see it as an investment. One of my mentors puts it this way: if I spend this money today, will it generate me a 5x return on investment that makes it worth 5 to 10 times what you originally paid in 5 years' time? If not, then it's not worth spending money on. It goes without saying you want to view your IT services, cybersecurity services, and overall technology platforms as an investment into your professional services firm. One thing you may not be aware of is that return on investment in your professional services firm can produce 100% to 200%. What is considered an excellent return on investment in the stock market is between 6% and 8% per annum. Naturally, the investment in your professional services firm is the winning strategy. As a professional services firm equity principal, partner, or director, you must learn to think, make decisions, and act as an investor if you truly want to get ahead. Understanding the true value of time, especially your own. A little tip: it's not the billable hourly rate that you charge. Want to learn more about how to avoid making a big expensive mistake with technology, what technology systems will help you reach the goals you seek, and how to avoid repeating the mistakes mentioned in this article? Go to www.myinfotechpartner.com.au/see more clients and sign up for my free micro training titled The 3 Secrets to See More Clients, Get Paid Faster without having to move a couch into your office. In it, you'll discover how to make smart decisions with technology to allow you to continue providing for your family and get your life back.